Okay, so constructive criticism, right? Sometimes that's hard to take, but sometimes we all have to take a little constructive criticism. You let me know what you think. Is this a constructive criticism situation that I encountered this weekend? Let's get into it. So, I was doing an event, and then I always put my items back in my storage space, and um my storage people at my other unit, I think it worked well. Like the two guys, they see you, they wave, have a little conversation, and like that's it. So my new storage facility, the lady's really nice, and I'm wicking my candles right now as I talk to you. Um, but this weekend, she just, I feel offended. First of all, I feel offended now because just thinking about the conversation with her, at first I was like, okay, maybe this is a little constructive criticism, which I think it was. But also, it was maybe borderline rude ish. So what happened was, I was bringing all my stuff back from storage, and so I ran in to say hey to her, and I even gave her a free 6 ounce beeswax candle. Right? It's like, hey, how you doing? I've been meaning to like have you smell some of my fragrances because we always talk about my candle business. So she's like, I went on your website and like it was very hard to read. And so I stopped, and so I'm like, okay, well, what do you mean it was hard to read? Like, what about it was hard to read? And so she says, well, it was hard to read because, you don't have products up. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I do have like let's say, for example, my Sage and Palo Santo candle. I have a picture of the sage, and like it's a scene, like some of my where I buy my fragrances, they have those pictures up. The reason why I didn't put my picture up in a vessel is because sometimes the vessel that I have is not available, or it may be a different vessel, but you can still get that candle fragrance. So I used to have all the pictures up. I took pictures of all of my fragrances in the candle jar. But yeah. So anywho, I switched around, and I'm always revamping and changing my website and whatnot. What looks good? But let me try this. Let me try that. And so for her to say like it was hard to read, I'm like, okay, well, she is a potential customer, so I'm like, let me get her feedback. And she's like, yeah, it's hard to read, so I didn't buy anything. I said, okay. Well, I said, this is the first time I'm hearing this, because she's also asking me, how are my online sales? And I'm like, honestly, they're pretty good. They're starting to pick up. There is like a dead season, January, February, March. But I've had orders during those months anyway, although it's like a dead season. And I'm not looking for a majority of my sales to be online. Like my sales are more so word of mouth. People do go on my website and then they purchase. So I was taking this with a grain of salt, because I'm like, you know what? Let me just see it from a different point of view, right? But she's like, yeah, it was just hard to read. I want to see what I'm buying, and I couldn't see anything in the vessels. Some of my pictures don't have a vessel, and some do have a vessel. However, but by her saying that, she's like, maybe you should have somebody take a look at your website, and give you an honest opinion. And I'm like, what makes you think that I haven't had someone take a look at my website? I said, I've had people take a look at my website before. And she was like, no, not family, because they're not going to be honest with you. Hey, hey, hey. I was like, I said, actually, my family's very honest with me. So if they go on my website and they find it's hard to navigate, hard to look at, or they couldn't find something, or whatever the case is, they're going to be honest. My friends and my family, they're going to be very honest, like, hey, I couldn't find, or why, or you should put some pictures up, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I said that to my husband. I'm like, this is what this woman just said. And of course, you know, he's on my side about it. But he also said, you know, maybe you should try to go back to the way you did it, and maybe you should put pictures up, you know, just in case there are more people that are like her who can't navigate the website easily. So, which also I was like, okay, you know what, from you I could do that, I could take that. But it's just like from her, who has not purchased a candle, like hasn't, nothing, no way contributed, which is fine, but she also does not have a business. She doesn't have a website. Like, so I'm more inclined to take advice from someone that I respect more and who also has a business. They have a website, but she's like, you know, I do a lot of shopping and I like to see what I'm purchasing. I'm like, okay, you can see what you're purchasing. I've not heard this from anyone, and I've had my website up for a long time. December, I had the most sales that I've ever had on my website in December. I was also doing a holiday market in December, so a lot of people would go on my website and they purchase. Like, I've got sales on my website, like it's popping. So that's why I'm like, wow, like really, lady, really? Like, I used to like you before we had this conversation. But anywho, so my thing is constructive criticism. I've had constructive criticism before where, you know, about certain things about my business, like, hey, raise your prices are too low, you got blah, 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 that type of thing. But, and that is from other people in the business. She's not in the business. She's not in any business. Like, I wanted to ask her, like, what's your sales on your website? Like, oh, you don't have one. That really got me ticked off. But that's my vent session. I did update my website again, just posting like my 8-ounce vessel. That's going to be a consistent vessel that I'm not going to run out of. And the other 12-ounce vessel that I put up there is usually the one that I do use, which is like the shimmery one. See my tins? My travel tins is what I'm doing today for an event this weekend. But with that lady, just like, oh my God, I don't know. I was just like, it's like, now I don't even want you to go on my website at all. I don't even want you to buy a candle at all. It's like, because I feel like if she would have said something otherwise, like, you know, you have really great stuff on your website, but I just couldn't navigate it. Maybe she couldn't even say that because it was just so difficult for her to navigate my website. And I'm just like, wow, I've had this website. Maybe it was 2021, but I wasn't pushing any sales or anything. But the point is, people, I've never had an issue with someone saying that they couldn't find something on my website. Well, once I did, actually, and that's because I didn't put it on there yet, and I had already, it was a new fragrance. So the person that said that they couldn't find it on the website purchased a candle that day at an event that I was at. So because I'm like, okay, let's see how this new fragrance does, I didn't immediately put it on my website for sale. And she was like, oh my God, I love this candle. I want to buy like 2 more big ones, but I don't see it on your website. So that night I'm like, oh my God, I was like, thank you, you know, for loving my products and whatnot. Let me just go ahead, put this on my website. And I put it on the website. She saw it. She was able to purchase like 2 more that night. And then I just shipped them to her the next day because I had it available. So, I don't even have advice right now because I'm still frustrated. However, maybe take constructive criticism with a grain of salt, depending on Who's giving it to you? Analyze it. Are they complaining? Have they purchased from you before? Do they have a business? Maybe they don't have a business. But I feel like if you just want to give me a customer complaint in a way, and you haven't even purchased anything from me, like I would even listen to somebody, not listen to them, but still take it with a grain of salt, from an event that I did. Let's say they purchased a candle. It's like, hey, I was trying to find this on your website, but it was a little hard to navigate. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let me switch it up. What was hard about it? And then if they told me, I'm like, you know what, let me fix this right now. But this lady, she hasn't been on the website because it's hard to navigate. She hasn't purchased anything in person, or even seeing me come back from events, and I always wave at her like, hey. She could have been like, you know what, let me see what you have, let me purchase something. But no, she just wanted to complain. Anywho, thank you for listening. I will see you in my next video. My name is April. I'm the owner of Soul Candles, a small candle business where we use beeswax candles. We make reed diffusers, body oils, and room sprays. Website is also down below. If you want to check it out, leave me a comment. Let me know. Am I just, I don't know, being hard-headed? I don't think I'm being hard-headed, because I kind of sort of listened and just put the pictures up there just so people could see the candle in the vessel. Oh, the other thing, she's like, you're selling more of a feeling. It's not like you're selling products. So I said, well, I don't see that as an issue with me selling a feeling. Like, if you get my meditation candle, I want you to see the picture and feel like, wow, this is like gonna smell like lavender, eucalyptus. Like, I can feel like I can meditate to this. Or if you see my summer mojitos, you'll see like the mojitos, and it looks fun, and it's a fun candle. It smells like a mojito, and you would drink a mojito in the summer. So yeah, if I'm selling a feeling, yes, because in my opinion, people are going to remember how you made them feel. Don't forget what you tell them, but they're going to remember how you made them feel. Enough of my rant anyway. Have a great day. And remember, you deserve something thoughtful.